My name is Sheran, and today I will be guiding you through a quick 30-minute flow. Before we get started, I want to stress the importance of your breath. I encourage you to breathe deeply in and out through the nose, make a very audible sound through the mouth. And what this does is it helps to create internal heat in the body, and it just allows you to flow better through the class. Let's begin in child's pose. Feet together, knees mat distance, sitting back on the heels, arms stretched in front, hands firmly planted. We're gonna breathe in and out together, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's begin. Inhale and exhale through the mouth. Again, inhale and exhale. Last time, inhale through the nose and exhale. Let's come together in a tabletop position. Arms planted underneath the elbows, knees hip distance apart, neutral spine. Begin to circle the hips in a clockwise direction. Noticing how this feels. Breathing in and out through the nose. Maybe turning the hands so that the fingertips point to the knees. Keeping balance, let's rotate to the other side, counterclockwise. Feeling that stretch in your forearms. Placing the hands back in the original position, coming into a neutral spine. We're gonna run through a series of cat-cow. Inhale as you drop the stomach, chest reach up to cow. Exhale as you round the spine, navel to the back for cat. Inhale as you look up. Exhale, folding into cat. Once more, inhale, look up, and exhale as we fold. Doing a few of these at your own pace. And we'll meet at a neutral spine. Untuck the toes. Send the hips back into our first down dog. Noticing how this feels, the first down dog of the practice. Maybe lifting the heels and lowering it back down. Maybe walking your dog, massaging the hips. Noticing how that feels. Lift the heels, look towards the palms, and walk your feet to your hands, grabbing onto opposite elbows into ragdoll. Letting your upper body completely relax. Maybe shaking your head yes or no. We're here for a couple more breaths. Maybe putting a slight bend in the knees, allowing yourself to completely relax. Dropping the hands, putting a slight bend in the knee, one vertebrae at a time, come to standing, making sure the neck and the head are the very last to rise. From here, we're going to move into our sun salutations. Inhale, reach the arms up, clasping palms overhead. Exhale as we fold forward. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale as we plant the hands and step back into a high plank, lowering down into chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog, and exhale to downward facing dog. Staying here for 2 more breaths. In through the nose and breathing out through the nose. Look forward, step the feet to meet the hands. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, reach up, clasping the arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift the hands up. Exhale as we fold forward. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale as we step back into a high plank, lowering down into chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Again, breathing in and out through the nose. Noticing how the body feels here. Looking forward, step or jump the feet to meet the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale as we fold forward. Inhale as we reach the arms up overhead, maybe taking a slight back bend. Exhale as we bring the hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale as we fold forward. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale as we put the hands on the mat, step back into a high plank. Exhale, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog and exhale to downward facing dog. Noticing how this down dog feels in comparison to the first. We're here for 3 deep breaths. Breathing in and out through the nose. One more breath. Looking forward, stepping the feet to meet the hands. Inhale as we halfway lift. Exhale as we fold forward. Inhale as we reach up, rise up. Exhale to heart center. At the front of the mat, we're going to move into Utkatasana chair pose. Our toes are touching, our heels are slightly apart, putting a slight bend in the knee, making sure that we can still see our toes. Inhale as we reach up. Exhale as we fold forward. Inhale as we halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back into a high push-up, lower down into chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. On your inhale, reach the right leg up. Exhale, knee to nose and hold it here. Step the right leg forward, pivot the left down, reaching up into Virabhadrasana A, Warrior 1. We're here for 5 breaths. Inhale and exhale through the nose. After your last inhale, windmill the arms down. Right leg steps back to meet left. Lower down to chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Left leg goes up. Bring it in for knee to nose. Hold it here. Step the left leg, pivot the right heel down. Inhale, reach up into Virabhadrasana A, Warrior 1 on this side. We're here for a few breaths. Making sure that all toes are planted. We're feeling strong as we lift the arms up. Windmill the hands down to frame the left foot. Left foot goes back to meet the right. Lower down into chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Look forward. Step or jump the feet to meet the hands. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale as we reach up, rise up, maybe taking a slight back bend. Exhale to heart center. We're going to run through that again. Coming into chair pose, toes touching, heels slightly apart, putting a bend in the knee, making sure we can still see our toes. Inhale as we reach up. Exhale as we forward fold. Inhale as we halfway lift. Exhale as we fold forward, putting our hands to high push-up. Lower down into low plank. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. On your inhale, your right foot goes up. Put a bend in your knee. Scorpion dog. Rotating that right ankle. Maybe seeing if you can see your foot underneath your left underarm. Right leg goes back up. Knee to nose. Step that right foot. Pivot the left. Inhale to Virabhadrasana A. Windmilling the arms down. Right leg steps back to meet left. Lower down to Chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Next side, left foot goes up. Maybe putting a bend in the right knee. Rotating that left ankle. Maybe seeing if you can see your left ankle underneath your right underarm. Left leg goes back up straight. Knee to nose. Step it forward, pivot that right foot down. Reach the arms up into Virabhadrasana A. Again, windmilling the arms to frame the left foot. Left step back to meet right. Lower down into Chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Coming to Tadasana at the front of the mat. Inhale as we rise up. Giving yourself a back bend. Hands to heart center. Inhale as we lift the arms. Exhale as we fold forward. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale as we step back into a high plank. Lower down into Chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg and step it through. This time moving into Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana B. Keeping a bend in the right ankle, making sure the knee doesn't go past the ankle. Moving into Parsvakonasana, either placing the right forearm on the right thigh, or if it's in your practice, placing that hand on the inside of the right foot. Left arm reaches overhead into Parsvakonasana, and we're here for 5 breaths. Breathing in and out through the nose. Our drishti is upwards. Our palms are facing down. Slow, controlled breathing. 2 more breaths here. And after your last breath, inhale to Virabhadrasana B, Warrior 2. Stepping the left leg slightly forward, we're going to move into half moon. Placing the right hand down, the left leg goes up about hip distance height. Maybe seeing if you can put your drishti to your left hand. Placing that left foot back down, framing the foot, we're going to move into a runner's lunge twist. Left hand down, right arm reaches up. Here for a few more breaths. And after your final breath, your right hand reaches down. Right foot steps back to meet the left. Lower down into Chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. We have a left side, let's use it. Inhale, the left leg goes up. Steps to frame your arms, frame your foot. Right foot pivots into Virabhadrasana B, Warrior 2. We're here for a few breaths. Your arms are parallel with the mat. Your ankle or your knee isn't extending past your ankle. Moving into Parsvakonasana, left forearm can either rest on the thigh, or if it's in your practice, reaches on the inside of the left foot. Right arm reaches overhead and forward. Your palms are facing down. Your drishti is upwards. We're here for 5 deep breaths. Again, I option to either keep the hand on the floor or rest that forearm on the thigh. Making sure to breathe in and out through the nose. After your fifth and final breath, inhale to warrior three. Shortening the distance between the left and the right foot. Exhale as we lower the left hand down, right leg goes up into half moon. Your right hip stacks on top of your left. Your right leg is hip height. Your right arm reaches up, maybe seeing if you can turn your drishti to your right hand to half moon. Gently lower back that left or that right foot. Right arm goes down to frame the left foot. Right arm reaches down while the left hand extends for a runner's lunge twist on the left side. We're here for a few breaths. After your fifth and final breath, left hand goes down to frame the left foot. Left foot goes back to meet the right. Lowering down to chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. And we're here for 5 breaths. Noticing how this down dog feels compared to the first. Our fingertips are firmly rooted into the mat. Our pelvis is lifting. We have that perfect V shape. Inhale, lift that right leg up. Exhale, step it forward. We're going to move into Padmottanasana. Inhale as we grasp our big toe using our pointer fingers. Inhale as we halfway lift. Exhale as we fold forward. We're here for 5 deep breaths. Really pulling your head towards the earth. Breathing in and out through the nose. Making sure that breath is audible. 2 more breaths here. Last breath. Placing your hands on your hips. Inhale as you slowly rise up. Pivot that right leg towards the front of the mat, bringing the left leg in a little closer. We're going to inhale as we lift the chest. Exhale as we fold over the right foot, Parsvottanasana. We're here for 5 breaths. Our drishti is to our toes. As we fold over that right foot, that right leg, excuse me. Last breath. Inhale as we reach up. Pivot the feet so that we're facing the back of the mat. Option here to either grab onto opposite elbows behind, coming into reverse prayer, or grasping the fingers behind the back. Inhale as we lift the chest, and exhale as we fold over the left leg into Parsvottanasana on this side, on the left side. We're here for 5 breaths. Again, our drishti is to our toes. And after your final breath, inhale as we rise. Pivot the feet again facing lengthwise of the mat. Inhale as we place our hands on our hips. Exhale as we fold forward into Padmottanasana, placing the hands directly underneath the shoulders. Inhale as we halfway lift. Exhale as we fold forward onto Padmottanasana. We're here for 5 breaths. Again, we want to maintain that audible, deep breathing sound. Connecting our breath with our movements. And after your last breath, walk the hands over to the front of the mat, framing the right foot. Right foot steps back to meet the left. Lower down into Chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Coming into a child's pose here. Resting on the heels. The knees are mat distance apart. Taking a little rest as we breathe deeply. Coming back into a tabletop, planting the feet, and stepping back into a down dog. Maybe walking your dog here, lifting and lowering the heels. Look forward and come to a seat on the mat. Legs go out straight in front. Inhale as we reach up. Exhale as we fold over into Paschimottanasana. Maybe grabbing onto the big toes using the peace fingers. Grasping onto the outer edges of the feet. If this isn't in your practice, feel free to put a bend in the knees and fold. Otherwise, grasping onto the toes. Folding forward, leading with the chest and not with a rounded back. We're here for a few more breaths. Maybe seeing if our chest can reach closer to our thighs with every exhale. Inhale as we reach and come back up into Dhanurasana. We're going to move into Marichyasana C, bringing the right foot in towards the sits bone. Our right hand steps or reaches back. Our left elbow goes onto the outside of the right thigh. And we're here for a few breaths. Our drishti is over our right shoulder. If it's in your practice to take the full bind here, by all means, go ahead. Otherwise, we're here for 2 more breaths. Releasing that pose and switching to the other side. Our left foot goes in close to our sits bone. Our left hand reaches back. Our right elbow hooks onto the outside of the thigh. Our drishti is over our left shoulder. It's Marichyasana C. Maintaining that deep breathing with every flow, with every sequence. Let's release that. Let's cross our feet, plant our hands in front as we step back into a high plank. Lower down into Chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. We're here for a few breaths. Look forward, come to a seat on the mat, and let's go into Navasana, boat pose. Making sure to keep the chest lifted, straight legs if you can. Otherwise, put a bend in the knees. I like to keep my hand underneath my thighs for support. We're here for a few breaths in Navasana. Try not to sink into the back, but remaining active, keeping your chest up. Here for a few breaths. 2 more deep breaths. Let's go into low boat. High boat. 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 And I promise this is the last one. Low boat. And lower down onto the back. Hugging the feet or hugging the knees into the chest. Forehead to the knees. I like to whisper kind thoughts to myself here. This is usually where other things that I love about myself in this pose. Maybe rocking side to side to massage the spine, seeing how that feels for you. And we're going to go into Urdhva Dhanurasana here. You can do either a bridge pose or the full wheel. So bring in the sits bone, or bring in the feet in as close as possible to the sits bone. On an inhale, we're going to lift the chest, walk the elbows inwards, and lift for a few breaths. This is a variation of Urdhva Dhanurasana, bridge pose. Making sure to lift the pelvis. Remaining active. And exhale, lower down. Maybe windshield wipe the knees. All right, we're gonna do one more Urdhva Dhanurasana. Again, bringing the heels as close as possible to the sits bones. If you wanna take full wheel, placing the hands next to the ears. And on your inhale, lift up. Maybe even lifting the heels off the ground. We're here for 4 more breaths. Again, you always have the option to stay in bridge as opposed to the full wheel. After your last breath, tuck the chin into the chest and gently lower down. Bringing the knees into the chest again, once more. Maybe coming into happy baby to massage the spine. Bringing the knees back into the chest, we're going to take a supine twist to the right. So knees into the chest, drop the knees over to the right side, left arm is long, and our drishti is over to the left hand. We're here for a few breaths. Breathing in and out through the nose. Bringing the knees into the center and dropping them over to the left. Right arm goes out, our drishti is over to the right. This is a great deep spinal twist. Eyes are soft or closed. Breathing is controlled. Two more breaths here. After your last breath, bring your knees into your chest. Allow the legs to go long along the length of the mat into our final pose, Shavasana. Get as comfortable as you can. Arms are facing up, or palms facing up for an uplifting position. Our gaze is soft, our eyes are closed as we allow the forehead to relax, unfurrow the brows, unclench our jaw, allow the tongue to relax, allow the shoulders to relax. Allow the hands to relax and go heavy. Allow the legs to feel heavy. Breathing as you normally would here. Focusing on your breath, on your inhale and your exhale. Thoughts may come and go, but don't dwell on them, just allow them. Allow yourself to feel them and just let them go as we flow into Shavasana, our final resting pose. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, bringing some movement back into your body. Maybe making fists with your hands. Inhale as you lift the hands overhead, giving yourself a nice deep stretch as you would in the mornings. We're going to take fetal pose to the right. And gently press up into a seated position at the front of your mat. The love and the light in me honors the love and the light in each of one of you. Namaste.